Okay? So what you do is you slide that, you put the lamb in the cradle, and you slide that earmark pliers over the ear, and you go tuk tuk, and a little shape of ear drops to the ground. Now it heals quickly, but it doesn't grow back over. So that shape is missing his whole life. That's important because it shows ownership, makes it harder to steal each other's sheep. But it's better than that, because what we do in Queensland is all the male sheep, okay, they're born ram lambs, and you go pip pip, pull out the nuts, now they are wethers. So all the male sheep, we put that mark in the right hand ear, and all the female sheep, the ewes, we put that in the left hand ear. Did you know in New South Wales it's exactly the opposite way around? It is. If you're working down in Barrengun or something on the border, you've got to keep recalibrating. This is one of the reasons, ladies and gentlemen, why State of Origin works so well. 200 and something years and they haven't agreed where to put the earmarks yet. Holy smoke. Anyway, this is pretty important because see, as the sheep are coming up the draft towards Steve, just by looking at those ears, he can tell you who owns them and what sex they are. So his mindset is something like this. That's a girl of mine, that's a girl of mine, that's a boy of mine, that's a girl of mine, that's the neighbours, that's a boy of mine, that's the neighbours, that's a girl of mine. He does all that just looking at the ears. He doesn't have to sort of go like this. So it's much easier on his back, okay? Now, Steve, we're using a three-way draft. He's got two main gates, and you swing them backwards and forwards in three ways. That's the most common form of draft we have in Australia. You see that everywhere. Oh, the ear tags. I better tell. They won't. Sorry, Steve. Steve wants me to tell you about the ear tags. See, in the ear that doesn't have the ear mark, just sit down, Roy. Roy, sit. Look. In the ear that doesn't have the ear mark, you put an ear tag. And every ear, sit, Roy, sit. Every ear's got the attention span of a goldfish, that dog. That's why it's called Rip and Roy. Needs a dose every day. Now, and every year you use a different colour ear tag. And now we know how old they are as well. Because if you put yellow tags in 2013, those sheep are 4. If you put blue tags in 2012, those sheep are 5. This is pretty important. Sit, Roy, sit. This is pretty important because say you want to sell 500 sheep, you don't run 1,000 in and then you sell, the first 500 over the line because you'll be left with all the crappy sheep down the back. What you do is you sell the older sheep. So what you do is you sell the older sheep. So now it's a bit more complicated. Steve looks at his notebook. He goes, yep, got that. So now as the sheep are running towards him, it's more like, that's a 6-year-old girl of mine, that's a 4-year-old girl of mine, that's a 2-year-old boy of mine, that's the neighbours, that's a 4-year-old boy of mine, that's a 4-year-old girl of mine, that's the neighbours as well. He's doing all that just by looking at their ears. Pretty amazing, isn't it? It is a pleasure to watch Steve at work. Steve will be hoping that these sheep trickle through the yard at about 1,000 per hour. That's how fast you draft sheep. If you've got a nice setup and the dogs are fresh and you've got 3,000 sheep to draft, you'll knock them over in about 3 hours. We're not in much of a hurry today, so we'll take them nice and steady, okay? So why don't you grab your gates, Steve, and we'll have a bit of a crack at them. Sit there, wait. Okay. Here, over, get over. Boys, push. Push up. Let's go. And we're away. Don't you panic too much about that. It's all going beautifully. Now we annoy our sheep quite a lot. Here, hop up. You go. Now we annoy our sheep quite a lot in Australia. Not in that Kiwi sense, we just draft them. And this is happening all over the place. Now we've got, Roy, come. We've got only about 50 odd sheep to draft here. But if you've got 5,000 to 10,000, the same process takes place. Okay? Let's him back. Oh! I wish you could see the look of glee on Steve's face. face, and I can see from this side, he is loving this and doing a very good job too, I must say. That's good, isn't it? No, you've done well, mate. I appreciate that. There's some black ones here and here. Well, where were you trying to put the black ones? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, a couple got through. Thank you very much. Yeah, please. Thank you very, very much, Steve. You were wonderful. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I'm a bit older, I'm used to that. Now, I'll tell you what, I think we've been smashing it today. I feel like I've done half a day's work. But I think we've left ourselves enough time to knock the wool off one, eh? So we'll just grab a steering chair. Now this is a brand new complex, multi-million. A couple of $1 million it cost me to do all this. And I'm very fortunate to have, they built this before I do a show. But they ran out of money by the time we got to the tractor, unfortunately. As you're about to see. That little tractor I just rolled off the truck in Charleville. It's been smashing around the mulga down there since about 1954. So it's a little T20 tractor. My guess is probably a few of you have spent a few hours on one of them. Swinging off a bloody pole out the back of the auger when they wouldn't dig. They didn't do their budgets, couldn't give me decent practice for anything like that. Looks pretty good to me. Thank you. Now, the shearing industry, it's only undergone 2 technological breakthroughs in over 200 years. That's not many, is it? So I thought we might just touch on that. It was over 100 years ago that we went from blade shears to a mechanical handpiece. That was a pretty big breakthrough. It was a good one. This is the mechanical handpiece. It doesn't matter whether it's been driven by electricity or an overhead diesel shaft. That's the mechanical handpiece. It's a ripper. Now, the only technological breakthrough in the last 100 odd years, and if you haven't blinked, you would have missed it, so don't blink. The Kiwis came across the Tasman as they're in contact with this comb, okay? That's just that bit there. Previously, well, this is the handpiece, we already had that, just that bit. And previously, we were using that comb. The difference is about 2 centimetres or 3/4 of an inch. And that is the only technological breakthrough we have managed in the shearing industry in over 100 years. I think what I'm trying to say is this job has not changed too much for a long, long time. Tell you what has changed. Sheep. In the year 1800, average merino fleece rate was 2.5 kilograms. Now the average merino fleece weight is 7.5 kilograms. The sheep are cut into 3 times the amount of wool. Over this side, almost the same. Now, I'm not a very well-travelled man. I spent all my life pretty well between the New South Wales border and the Gulf. So I don't know what's going on everywhere else. But in my limited experience, most times if you give me a menial task, it doesn't take a great deal of skill. You know, I'll drop a pallet of steel post in front of me and say you want 40 kilometres of 3-bar fence strung. Well, the skillful part is to get the posts in a straight line. You know, the rest of it's just hard work, isn't it? Now the shearing game, however, it's very, very physically demanding, but it also takes a great deal of skill. Now, I don't have that skill. I'm not a shearer, I'm not an ex-shearer. If you get an opportunity to see professional shearers at work, take that opportunity, it will stay with you for life. You'll never forget it, seriously. They're great. I have just spent a lot of time out here where it's reasonably isolated country, and I've picked up just enough to get myself into trouble. It tends to be out here. Sometimes, because the population is so sparse, you can't always get the right person to do the right job. I put a few PowerPoints in my day. I'm not an electrician. Anyway, I'll have a crack at him. We've got ourselves a little merino weather weaver here. Only about